And we are back here once again with another episode of the MSK show. And this is going to be episode 59. And in this episode of the MSK show, I am going to be having a conversation with content creator Dela 606. It's going to be his first appearance on this show. He was on, I think, one of my Iron Man podcasts, but as you guys know, with comic books, I had to retcon that. Just like when the ratings hit low for TV, you cancel the show, or in comic books, when the sales aren't doing good, you just reboot back to a number one. And that's where we're back at now. But I feel like this is going to be a lot more of a surreal experience because Dela had a chance to experience some of the people that I know, and Tiny can sure be a woman in a lot of cases. Oh my God. Good Lord. But I told her I can tame her. I know how to take care of women. It's easy. But what's going on, man? How are you doing?
Doing it. I'm hanging in there. I'm taking it one day at a time. Just dealing with the stupidity of people on the internet. This whole election, and it's just it's at times it's funny and fascinating to me, but yet sad to see people who claim to be very civil just tear each other apart and just descend into like such madness and primal state of, oh, fuck you and you deserve to die and I hope you get assaulted and murdered and like the descent of mankind is just funny to me, but yet sad.
Yeah. Like for me, it's just so funny watching the media go, why did nearly all of America pick this guy as the candidate? When in reality, I think, I don't even know if this is being fake with these people, or I don't know if they're genuinely this stupid. They can't understand why people are so fed up with whatever bullshit they're being fed. They're like, you know what? I'm going to just show you with our own actions that we'll just pick the candidate that we want. But we'll get into that a little bit later. That's a little bit of the spicy stuff. So we'll start with your origin story. Since you come on the show again, you don't have to do it again. How was your life growing up, man?
How's my life growing up? My life was the typical Black immigrant child, not knowing my daddy, growing up in the fucking projects.
Really?
No dad? No, I don't know my fucking father.
Oh, okay. So we're in the same boat. Okay, so you really were
typical Black upbringing, single mom, raised by my grandma, calling my grandma mom and my mom by her maiden name and shit, going to school, being a delinquent, fucking running around my hood ass friends, getting arrested, spending a summer in juvie, barely graduating high school, going off to the fucking military. Now I learned tricks from the white man, invested in stocks, made a shit ton of money from fucking GameStop, fucking wait till it popped, sold it, bought a fucking house in Jersey.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
That's it? That's my origin. Yeah.
So have you talked to your mom any point?
What do you mean? I still
have you been keeping up with your mom in these years?
Yeah, why? Why wouldn't I?
Oh no, it's like, did your relationship get better or just kind of just like,
what do you mean? Whatever? I never had a bad relationship with my mom. It's just like, I just like, I've just been kind of kid, like, I was very to myself as a child, having like two older siblings and a younger sibling, and it's kind of just like I was just like I don't kind of like fit in with my own family, so I was just kind of like the black sheep.
Yeah, so, I did the same thing too. Yeah,
I kind of like I hung out with some people who were not good for me, and then I met some people who were like decent for me. And my family didn't understand why I was listening to fucking like bands like Korn and Slipknot and stuff. So I was like, that's pretty much it. I'm not here to sit there and tell you a sad fucking story.
Oh no, because I was gonna bring up.
Yeah. I wasn't like your typical fucking privileged Black kid. I fucking did struggle.
It's like rags to riches, essentially.
Yeah, I struggled. I used to sit there and believe the white man was all against me and all that shit. And then after serving in the military, and then I became like Edward Elric from fucking Full Metal Alchemist. After you see the dog, after being in the military, like they fucking suck. The government fucking doesn't give two shits about me. I want to punch the government in the face and done with it. So you start seeing shit and you just, it is what it is at that point.
Like when people don't have certain experiences or experience them at all, their brains just don't expand. Like you have black people that are still thinking to this day there is some invisible white man that is holding them down. And it's like, what? I don't even, we live in the best country in the world, you know? And you have people that literally believe that there's this like invisible boogeyman that's just like holding them down. And when in reality, if you're born in a bad situation like you yourself were, you eventually, if you just work hard enough, you can get out of It's just we have a country like that where if you can kind of play your cards right, it's going to be tough. You're going to have to go through some hardships. Even when you try to get to that point, you can get out of it. But a lot of people are just content with the government just giving them money, Section 8 housing, free food. It's actually much easier to have someone else do it for you than you do it yourself,
Yeah, as I wasn't like born in America, like I was born in South America, and
Mm,
when my grandmother came over here, then my mother brought me and my siblings over here,
mhm,
and I remember, I still remember to this day as a young child standing on the line for citizenship to get the picture for my citizenship, because my mother did take the citizenship test, she took all that stuff, and
mhm.
like did it for us too, so we became citizens, so we have that citizenship.
Shit,
And
yeah.
then for a while, like, I think after a certain amount of years, you become a naturalized citizen.
It's true.
So,
Yeah. Mhm,
um, we didn't, when you see most people come from from Guyana or the Caribbean islands, they fucking
mhm.
open up like a jewelry store and a shop and like a fucking roti shop. But like we didn't do that. My mom was just like working. My mom worked at a home health aide for like fucking 30 years. And my grandmother used to work in corrections.
Good
And
God.
yeah, my
But
mother
that's
would
the
like,
ideal immigrant situation, though. You guys come over, you want to
yeah,
be American, you absolve all the rules, you understand what it means to be an American. Your grandma and mom took the test, they wanted to be American, they wanted to live
yeah.
somewhat live the dream. How does it? Did your grandma or mom talk to you about the whole immigration problem? Because I imagine for them, it's really
No,
disrespectful to them that immigrants are just pouring in when they have to go through all that shit just to be called American at this point. You know?
like my mother was in the British military, because if
Mm,
many don't know, in parts of like Guyana
yeah.
was a British colony, and there's some places still to this day are British colonies. So she was in the British military when she conceived me. Um, so when we came over, as like I like my whole time, like growing up, my mother always said like, because of your skin color, you have to work 10 times as harder than people who don't look like you and people who look like you, because people who even look like you don't like you because you're an immigrant.
She just institutionalizing like straight up racism into you.
Yes, like bro, my grandmother and my mother. No, put it like this: my mother just said I have to work harder 10 times more because I'm an immigrant, I'm black.
Yeah.
And my grandma was just like super racist. When I say my grandma was racist, I mean like she was racist where she called me a hard every day because I was dark skinned. And like if you don't know, a lot of people from Guyana, they look Indian.
Yeah.
They do look Indian. My grandmother looked Indian, fair
Mhm.
skin, long Indian hair. And if you look at my mother's just kind of the same way. I was just like dark, like night.
Yeah.
And my grandmother hated me. And it so my grandmother's racist. She hated Asian people, she hated Spanish people, she hated
Oh my
everybody. Super
god.
racist. Like people don't understand like the racism I grew up in. There's white people that say they grew up in a very racist household
Yeah.
and they got away from that. Like I grew up in a very racist household and I was just
Mhm.
kind of like, oh, I mean, I'm not seeing that. My friends were white, my friends were Spanish. Like, I was like,
Yeah. I can
okay.
understand why it will be hard for people to break out of that. You grow up with around your parents, grow up around your siblings and your grandparents, and if what's that saying? You are a product of who you're around.
You're a product of your environment.
Environment. Yeah. Yeah.
And growing up in Marcy Projects during the early 90s, it was like
Mhm.
uh my my grandmother didn't want me downstairs, like playing with those. She's like, I don't want you downstairs playing with them little Negroes all day. Like they're like those. She didn't want me a part of that.
Yeah.
Like I had to go to school. I couldn't like take a day out of school and miss school. I had to go to school. If I was getting in trouble at school, I was getting my ass beat. You know,
I know that.
it's like I had to like do something with my life, and like at the age of like 16, I got into some major trouble because grew up in the projects. I went to live that ghetto fabulous lifestyle. I went to sell drugs, and I got snitched out by somebody I was selling drugs to. And then I got into a fight with some kid at the last day of school, and then like ended up in juvenile detention. And after that, I was like, you know what? This shit ain't for me. Because there were
Yeah.
motherfuckers going to juvie like a fucking revolving door. They were like, oh, I was out last month and I'm back in. Like, motherfucker, like you were free and you coming back in? Like,
That's
what
what
the
I've never
fuck?
understood about people that go to jail. What's the good of going to jail, being locked up, not being able to walk outside, feel the sun, anything, and just
Exactly.
wanted to go back? Like I couldn't. I would have nightmares about being in jail. Like I wouldn't want to be in jail. That's terrible. That sounds awful.
Like the juvenile detention I was in, I wasn't like a bad kid. Like I wasn't like a violent kid, like who was a
Mhm.
fucking piece of shit. Like I was put in a non-secure juvenile detention, so it was like a halfway home. So, but I still had to follow rules. I couldn't go home, but I was like, I was still
Mhm.
had to follow rules. So when I got out, I was like, let me just finish high school, and I went straight into the military after that. I was like, that's it.
How was your time in the military? Did you like looking back on it? You think it was a good experience overall?
It was definitely a good experience because
Hmm.
you kind of just learn a lot about yourself in the military.
Hmm.
You
You
learn
traveled
a
a
little
lot
bit,
too, right?
not too much because I was
Okay.
my job set was a little different. I wasn't
Okay.
like I wasn't a combat unit. I was a like
Mhm.
support unit, so it was like chemical warfare.
Mhm.
So before the army, I did the Coast Guards, and then when I got out the Coast Guards, my mother had an army recruiter waiting for me because she didn't want me out. My mother did not want me like home at all. It was just like you need to be doing stuff. Like no. So spent a lot of time in the military. I didn't travel like the world. I'm like, oh, I went all over the world, but learned some things. Learned I was a fucking like natural leader for some
Mhm.
fucking reason. I excelled, and you start seeing like people don't like seeing people come up. That's what I learned very fast
That's
in the
actually very
military.
true. Yeah.
Like
Hmm.
I was young, and there were guys who were in there for a while. And they were like E4, which is
Hmm.
like a low rank, and I was going to be E5. These guys were in there longer than me, and
Hmm.
I'm just getting in. I'm like getting promoted to like E5, and they're like, "Oh, you kissing up and all this stuff, and you trying to be better." I'm like, "What the fuck?" And like these are people you hang out with and stuff, and like these are
Hmm.
like part of your platoon. And I spoke to some of the older soldiers. They was like, "Yo, this is a be all you could be fucking army. So be all you could be." I was like, "You fucking right. I'm a be all I could be." So I made rank when I got out the army. I was a E7, no E6, sorry, staff
Hmm.
sergeant. So got out. You know, that's pretty much it. It wasn't like there was the good days, there were bad days. It's the fucking military. It's like a regular job. So
So look, after you got out of the army, what ended up happening?
when I got out, I was like, okay, now what? You find out very quickly nobody wants to hire vets because
Really?
you're at a
That's
standard that
crazy.
like nobody can match.
Oof.
You're
So
at a
you
high
would
standard.
apply on resumes and you put on you're a vet, and it would just be like a no. That's
It
insane.
was just like, oh, well, you don't have experience. Like, what do you mean? Like, I applied for security companies. Security companies.
You'd be like the ideal person for
They
that.
were
Yeah.
they were like, no, you need this type training because I'm like, bro, I did like security for the Pope. I did joint force support in the bridges and tunnels of New York with a fucking M16 and a 9 millimeter. So you're telling me I don't have experience? It's like, oh, I'm just like, okay, I'm looking for this much in pay. I was not asking for like the basic pay. I was asking for like $16.
Yeah.
I was asking for like 11, 12, $13 an hour. This is like back in like early
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, yeah.
2000s. And they're like, oh, we really can't pay you more than some of the guys that have been here longer. I'm just like, have you seen my resume? Like, have you seen all this shit I've done?
Yeah.
And it was like they weren't trying to hire me and shit. And I worked in a camera store doing supplies and stuff.
Damn, that's a throwback. Just a straight up camera store. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
I worked in a there's still camera stores around. It's like buying cameras and selling cameras, like big camera stores. If you ever come to New York, there's a store called B&H
Okay.
and Adorama. Those are like the main camera stores. Like cameras are still fucking making money. I worked there for a while. Then I used to work at the New York Hall of Science. Worked after the camera store, I worked like a at a like a kind of like a paintball laser tag place and
Okay.
stuff. Then I was like looking for work. I worked as an energy salesman. An energy salesman. You know those guys you come to your door and be like,
Yeah.
"Hi, you like to save energy?" I did that, but for businesses,
Okay. Damn, you
for
were door to
stores.
door
So I would go
salesman.
into a
Holy
fucking
shit.
bodega and try to pitch a bodega.
Wasn't that like a fucking blow to your ego that you were in the fucking army and you had to basically go to door salesman?
Dude, it fucking sucked. But like I was good. I was good at what I did because it's like you gotta know to talk to people. Like
Yeah.
I don't see those jobs as like a detriment because those jobs gave me skills.
Mm-hmm.
The jobs gave me fucking skills, like how to talk to people, how to navigate people, and
I gave
kind
her a
of
shake.
like build a relationship with people, and it's just like gauge them. Then I was like, I was really fucking like desperate, and I was hanging out with these two white people. I was hanging out with two white people that owned a
Okay.
vintage shop.
Mm-hmm.
One was a German, and one was a woman from New Jersey,
Mm-hmm.
and they owned a vintage shop, and I hung out with them. And I was hanging out with them, and I was like, I don't know what to do for work. I'm like really upset. I need something, and they were like, put yourself on Craigslist. There's always people looking for money. I work for Craigslist, so I was like, ah, why not? Let me try it. So I put my resume in Craigslist. 2 days later, I got a call from Howard B. Jameson. God rest his soul. Howard B. Jameson called me and was like, I want you to come in for an interview. I was like, okay, where's the interview? He's like, here's the address. Here's what we do. We're a geotechnical consulting company. I was like, oh my God, I heard consultant. I'm thinking like it's one of those fucking door-to-door things.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, what's the name of your company? So I could do the research. So I look up the company and their website just looked like ass, bro. It looked like ass. It was like so bad. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I was like, what am I was like so upset. I'm like, oh my God. All right. Let me go to the interview. So I go from Brooklyn, Marcy Projects to Kingsbridge in the Bronx, which is it's like an hour train ride. I go all the way there. I get to where the interview is at, and it's like a town. It's like a home, a 2-story home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now? I was like, this is bad. This is gonna be some bullshit. So I'm like, all right, let me just go in. So I go in. They buzz me, and I look up the top of the stairs, and I see 3 dogs. I see 3 dogs. I go upstairs, and I'm like, hi, I'm here to see Howard Jameson for the interview. And they're like, oh, he's not here, but his mother is. So you're gonna interview with his mother. She's the owner of the company.
Mm-hmm.
So I go down and sit down with this woman, and like those 3 dogs are her dogs. I'm like, oh boy, this is gonna be rough. So I sit down, and she's looking through all my credentials and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She sees like I went to culinary school, I have a military background, I have all these things and stuff. She's like, what does this mean? I was like, oh, I did this, chemical warfare, such and such. She was like, oh, what does this mean? Logistics, I can
Mm-hmm.
manage logistics inventory. She was like, oh, sales. She was like, okay, here's the job. You go to construction sites with a seismograph and you monitor vibration monitoring for adjacent buildings, and we get reports. These reports are used for companies so they could use in case of lawsuits and all that stuff. And you write reports, you help install them, blah, blah, such and such. I was like, okay. I was like, how much is the pay? She said 36,000 a year. I was like, oh shit, this is the most I could ever made. It was like $17 an hour. I was like, this is perfect. And I was like, is this a union job? She's like, no, it's not union. We're a subcontractor. I was like, okay. I was like, how are raises done? She's like, well, I'm not gonna pay you to come to work every day. You got to prove yourself. I was like, no problem. I got that job, bro. And like, if I never got that job, if Howard B. Jameson never called me, now I would never been in. Because I thought this was like a 36-year-old man that called me. This was a child. I was older than this kid. This kid was like 19.
Jeez.
19. Rich kid. Rich. When I say rich, the girl he was dating, her father like owned these huge companies, bro. He drove me to a train station in a Porsche.
Oh my God.
So then I met the rest of the family. He has a brother that was like a pilot.
Mm-hmm.
and the other brother owned businesses. So it's like this whole family is like stacked with money.
Mm-hmm.
And I was the type of person that's like, I need to make myself like more beneficial in the company and
Yeah.
rise up.
Mm-hmm.
So I fucking started I spoke to them and everything. I started like learning a lot of stuff in construction. Learned how to install the stuff, manage the inventory. I got cool with all the other subcontractors and stuff. Like they knew me. I built a reputation for myself. Then I was just like, hey, how about you send me to uh, these certification classes so I could teach them in house and all this stuff. You know, he's like, yeah, they pay for all my. These people paid for me to get a driver's license. They
Oh
paid for
my.
my driving school because only one guy in the company knew to drive. All of us didn't know because we was taking the trains or having him drive us around. They
Mm-hmm.
were like, we're buying another fucking truck. You all need to learn how to drive within they gave us like 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
My black ass, I was like, listen, in your contract, you never said anything about driving. Will you be providing the driving? Because that's the training we need. They
Mm-hmm.
said yes. I was like, no fucking problem. A company telling you they're gonna pay for you to go to driver's ed and your test and all that stuff, that's a no-brainer. You're gonna take it, right? So did all that, got my driver's license, got all my certificates and stuff. Uh I started asking for more money. When I left the company, I was making 60 grand. Then I got recruited by a bigger company,
Mm-hmm.
and off the rip, they were just paying me crazy money.
That's
Crazy
crazy.
money.
Okay.
And here's the thing. I have no college. I don't have any college.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from the projects. I was a right now, where I'm at in my career right now, I am a safety director for a construction company. Zero college, just experience. So all this shit that say the white man keeps you back, no, it's you. Because it was a white man who gave me the opportunity. It was a white man who paid for all my classes. It was a white man who also helped me get my first apartment
In New York, which is pretty
in New
fucking
York. He
expensive.
helped me get my first apartment in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Even bought me fucking pots and pans and shit for my first apartment. A white man who also voted for Trump back in 2016. Republicans helped me, gave me the opportunity. And it wasn't a handout. It was like, here's the job, prove yourself. And that's what I did. So all this nonsense about, like you said, the invisible boogeyman, there is an invisible boogeyman. It's called you.
Yeah, it also depends on what do you want to do. You know, you ask people, what do you want to do? And then they'll say, oh, I want to do X thing, X thing. That doesn't require someone putting you down. You just are lazy and you haven't actually been applying yourself and moving in the right direction, or you simply just haven't hit the right opportunity yet. All that what you said, job hunting, it's all experience, it's all opportunities. You have to basically kind of go through the trenches, as they say. It's an army thing, actually.
Yeah.
You know, well, a lot of people don't know like hardship. They expect that. Oh, I just did some college. Now I just gifted a job. It's like that's just not how that works. I mean, it should be how that works. When you go to college, they should be able to help you get a job, but this is not how
Should,
that
but
works. Yeah, you have to go and
yeah.
actually look for a job. And keep in mind that, like I said before, you with no college, I don't have college. Looks like we're doing a pretty well for ourselves over here. You know?
Yeah. I don't have any debt except for my house. You know, when you buy a house,
Yeah.
you get into debt.
Oh
But
yeah.
I'm paying my bills on time. I'm not like behind in credit card payments or nothing. I
Yeah.
pay everything on time. I have a great credit score. I have over
Mhm.
700 credit score. So like,
Yeah.
um, but all my experience came from the multiple type of jobs. If I would have stuck to one thing, I probably wouldn't be where I am today. And if I didn't like surround myself with people who are about making money, I wouldn't be where I am today. It's who you surround yourself with and who you talk to. Imagine if I was so closed-minded and didn't
Mhm.
listen to white people. Because I used to be that type of person, like, oh, white people don't give a shit about me. I used to be just like that. I used to be a teenager, like, fuck white people are bad. But I had white friends. And I always looked at people in the corporate America like, I'm like, oh, they'll never give me a chance. But I got a chance. I worked as I worked with kids. I
Mhm.
worked as a barista in restaurants. I worked as a fucking Parks and Rec guys, fucking picking up trash. I worked as a salesman. I worked as a geotech. I work fucking packing bags in the grocery store.
Mm-hmm. That's what it
So
takes, even just being a man. Like, people that understand just being a man and doing those things. You basically have to. You know how someone will say this thing is like, "How did you get that done? You were behind on everything. You just got to get it done." That's what being a
exactly,
man
you
is.
figured it out.
Yeah, you got to figure it out. Like, that's what I think a lot of guys lack, is the reason why a lot of them end up just coming up so fucking bitch made. Is because they were never taught the inherent instinct of like, hey, you got to make this happen, no matter what it is. You have to make something happen, and that's why all these guys end up getting so fucking cucked out by the older girls. They're like, you got to be in touch with your feminine side and all that other fucking gay shit, and it's like, is that making me any money? What's that doing to better your life? You know, telling guys that they should go out and get a set of skills and get a good job is considered toxic masculinity, when in reality that would be attractive for most girls. Honestly, you know, that's what most guys should do. You should want to do better for yourself. You should want to have your own shit. You know,
Yeah,
I
once
just
you
don't know
set
why that's
yourself up,
considered bad. You
once
know,
you set yourself up, other people will gravitate towards you.
that's true. Yeah, that's how it works. Mm-hmm.
Like the people I hang out with are so diverse. I have people on the left and the right. I have far left people. I have far right people. I know people who are like minorities who hate other minorities.
Oh God, man!
Like it's so crazy. Like the white people I hang out with, they don't hate any minority.
That's what they would tell you, right?
They're not racist at all. It's the minorities I hang out with that hate.
Those are some of those racist
minorities
people I've ever interacted with,
which is
honestly.
crazy. Which is crazy. I know a Spanish guy that doesn't like Jewish people at all. He hates Jewish people. He hates Jewish people before it was cool. And this guy's Spanish.
Oh God, man.
He's Spanish. He's like, I hate Jewish people. They're this. They run the media and all this stuff. All this stuff Kanye West was saying, he was saying before that. I like. It just blows my mind. And like you said, I agree with you. There's this whole thing with you being a man. You shouldn't be doing like wanting to just do better for yourself and achieve for yourself is toxic. But at the same time, they tell you if you're broke, we don't want you and stuff. And broke men make it for women and stuff. And so it's like it's a double-edged sword. So it's like, what do you want from us? Being a man in 2024 in this day and age, I am so happy I didn't grow up in this age because I would be fucked up. I would be fucked up. My head would be probably like I'll be dead already. Yeah. Because you get so much information, different things. Oh, women want this. No, we want this. No, we want this. Be a man means this. Be a man means that. Like, you don't have to be a man. Man's this. Like, man be woman. Man, woman is man. I don't like it's too much. It's too much. And everybody just wants to be famous on the internet. That's what everybody wants to do now. I want to be a TikTok star. I want to be a Twitch streamer and stuff. If I grew up in this age, I'll be fucking still living with my mother in the projects.
Yeah, because I don't know what happened in the world where basically doing things that were considered like traditional and being a man is now considered toxic, and you have to basically, if you, I don't know, act in a certain way, you just get labeled a bunch of shit. You know, they basically want you to essentially just live off the government, be on your phone, tweeting all day, telling people you're depressed. And then when you don't have anything and you try to go and date a girl, she's like, well, what you got for me? And you say, oh, I got nothing. I got no job. I just live at home with my mom. And then they're surprised no girl wants to date them. It's like, dude, look, I don't know what you've been told, but you need to get out of that mindset. You have to literally get a job, attempt to get your own place and a car and some money. That's what you got to get. And it takes a long time to get those things.
Who date men who are bums. So
yeah, to be fair, those girls are usually always pretty trash. The girls that date bums are some bottom bitches.
No, I've seen girls who look fine as fuck and they date some bum ass niggas, and I'm like,
good man.
Yeah, how the fuck are you pulling that off? I don't know,
dude.
Bro.
Even if you tell a guy to go to the gym, there are people that consider that toxic. I'm like, going to the gym does wonders for people. Like, what? That was the thing I had never heard of until this generation brought it up. Because I remember this girl like a while ago, I think on one of the shows that used to do like back in the, she was like, man, guys that go to the gym are just so toxic and this and that. And I'm like, going to the gym literally is one of the most beneficial things a person can do. If you're fat, you can get skinny. If you're skinny, you can get more more buff, you put more muscle on, you
Yeah.
can get lean, you could it actually is proven to give you less stress when you lift weights. It's so beneficial. To see people call that like machoism or all that bullshit is so dumb. Like, where did this? I just don't know where this come from. I have no
It
clue
it
at
came
all.
from it came from a group of idiots who other idiots listened to and believed because they had large followings.
Mhm.
I mean, perfect example. Here's a perfect example. Beyonce, the queen bee.
Mhm.
She makes songs about leaving her cheating man, right? She makes songs about don't be with that broke ass bum nigga, leave
Yeah,
him because
and I
he's a
would agree with
cheater,
that. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But her husband cheated on her not once, not
Mhm.
twice, multiple times, right? Cardi
Yeah.
B makes songs about I don't mess with no bum nigga, no cheater. I fuck him and leave him, blah blah.
But she was
Quavo,
Offset, and Offset cheats
wait,
on
oh,
her
I'm
all the
sorry, is it,
time.
I don't know who she with, but she married
Offset,
him, right?
yeah. Mhm.
He cheated on her, got her pregnant, cheated her again, got pregnant, and cheated her again.
Women are hypocrites if you really look at
So
it. Yeah.
so as do as don't do as I say, do as I say, but I won't follow those rules. Rules for thee, not rules for me,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I think
Leave
Tyrese
it-
Gibson pointed it out a while ago too. He was on a show and he was like, women will rap and sing about all this shit that they don't like or want in a man that is considered like toxic, but then they'll go and date that very thing that they're singing about not being with. It makes women are just hypocrites. That's just really all it is. Women will say they love you because of the lifestyle they're providing for you because you're well off, right? So if you get a girl, you would have to really like assess like, is she really with me because she really likes me, or is she with me because of like the lifestyle I can give her? When women kind of fall in love with what you do for them, for the most part, they're very like materialistic. I'm not saying all women, obviously, but
Yeah,
women
it
will be
goes
like,
for
I
men
love a
too.
guy, but it's like, you love him because he has a nice car. You love him because you actually like him as a person. That's two different things,
It goes for men too. We
True. Yeah.
we talk about what we don't want and end up with that. Or we want somebody that's gonna take
Yeah.
care of us and provide for us. But you're with a girl who doesn't take care of you or provide for you.
This is
That
me. I'm
brings
good in bed.
nothing to the table. Like,
Mhm.
what do you bring to the table? And if it's just your looks, then it's your dime a dozen. A guy I hung out with before,
Mhm.
he said, think of the hottest girl in the world. Think of the hottest girl you know.
Mhm.
There's a guy tired of fucking her.
Yeah.
The hottest girl in the world. There's some guy who's like, I'm tired of fucking this woman right now.
That's
Same thing for the
yeah.
hottest guy in the world, ladies. There's a woman that's like, I'm tired
Yeah.
of fucking this dick. I need something else.
Mhm.
So all all I gotta say is like, people, do what you gotta do to take care of yourself. Because at the end of the day, all you got is yourself. You can have all the family and everything in the world, you can have all the friends. But when
Mhm.
shit hits the fan, only you could pull yourself out. You'll have some
Yeah.
help,
Yeah.
but I don't
How
know,
much
go to the
help?
gym.
How much
Exactly.
help? Yeah, how much help basically resolves around how many connections you made that were meaningful connections, meaningful friendships you made. Because with girls, have you had this ever happen to you when you left a girl or didn't want to talk to her? She was like, "You'll never find another girl like me." I'm like, "The fuck?" Yes,
That's the point. That's the
yeah.
point.
Girls will
I don't
always
want to
say
find another
that.
you.
Yeah,
You
girls are
leave
like,
somebody, they say
yeah.
that. You don't want to be with another person like you. I tell them, like, you're exactly right. I will never find another you because I don't want another you. I want
Yeah,
something different.
yeah. Because
Go to
girls
the
are
gym,
always like,
guys. Get
yeah,
strong. Be able to put some muscle on your arms. Get some of this.
yeah.
A little bit. Get some meat in your chest.
Mhm.
Look presentable. When you put on some like muscle weight and lose weight, it's a whole different feeling. I used to be a fucking 100-pound soaking wet twerp. Knock a fucking bench 235, deadlift 405
And I'm not
pounds.
gonna lie, I was pretty like
Fucking
lean. I'm pretty skinny before I went to the gym. When I started going to the gym and I started lifting weights and I started like looking a little bit more bigger, just a little bit, I was like, man, my confidence just shot through. I was like,
exactly.
I was looking like Chris Evans did Captain America when he came out with all his muscles. I was like,
Yeah,
damn, holy shit.
it's a good feeling. And now
Yeah,
like I'm happy I'm seeing like a lot of people go to the gym now.
that's a good thing.
This
That's a very good thing.
it's
Yeah.
it's amazing because your health does better. Or the only thing is like you're gonna be having pains as you get older in
Mhm,
weird places if you fucking lift extremely heavy. It comes with
mhm.
the fucking territory that stretch and all that stuff. But like, there's nothing wrong with taking care of yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, and financially. Sometimes you gotta. You ever hear the saying, "It's lonely." You don't hear the claps until at the end or something. There's
Yeah.
nothing but there. What the fuck is that saying? It's like the applause are only at the end of the journey, never at the beginning. There's no support. Everybody,
Yeah.
once you hit the top, everybody's like, "Oh my god, yes, congratulations!" And then you start seeing people diminish.
Yeah.
Once you hit the top, you're by yourself. Everybody's like, "I don't want like." Okay.
Because as we're talking about guys and girls, you've heard this before and you've seen this recently. And this goes for both guys and girls. Girls will say, "I can't find a good man," and guys would be like, "Well, I can't find a good woman." That's actually, I thought that was just a thing on the internet. No, it's a very prevalent thing in real life. It's a very prevalent. A lot of people talk about that right now. So I'll ask you, why don't you think this has been going on? Why do you think this has been going on? Like,
So many options.
Yeah.
We got a lot of options. There's a lot of options out there. You have to think. You could go on the internet right now and find. I mean, put it this: I come from the day and age where you had to work extremely hard to get a titty picture, or just a picture of a girl in her bra and panties.
Yeah.
You had to work extremely hard. You had to talk like for a week or a month.
Yeah.
You had to type.
To
You
get
had
the
to do all
number.
that stuff. You had to wine and dine.
Yeah.
Right now, I can just go on Twitter, see a girl's ass and titties, no problem. Done.
Yeah.
But in fact, if I get this girl right with some nice ass and titties, then
Yeah.
I go on. Then I can see another girl with nice ass and titties. So I'm like, it's too many options. Same thing with the women. They see a nice guy, handsome, muscles. Oh wait, but this guy got a nice car and some other shit. So we got it's too much out there now. So nobody ever happy. But I don't know why people can't find what they're looking for, is because I feel like they don't really want that. They like the ideal of it, but when they actually get it, it's not what it is. It's like,
yeah, and now you have this thing with, since Donald Trump won, girls are like, "I'm gonna not have sex with all these other men, and I'm gonna just not give it up." What was your standards before?
yeah, I don't.
The fuck?
I don't get that. I don't understand that mindset. I'm not a woman. I don't understand that mindset. So I'm just like, why did it take him winning for you to do all these things? I also see like people now saying, ever since Donald Trump won, all my gay and black friends go out and buy a gun. Why weren't you buying a gun before he won?
Yeah.
I'm a black man who is a concealed carry license person. I also support the local police force. I'm part of the union, the lodge. I pay my yearly dues, $40 a year. All right, I have a nice police badge on my vehicle.
Hell yeah.
When the cops pull me over, you know what I say? Oh fuck, what I do? Okay, license registration. Here you go. And I throw in my military ID in that too. They ask me questions. Yep, I don't make no sudden movements. I don't go. I know my rights. I don't pop on my phone and do all this nonsense. Yep. I fucked up. You got me. All right. I don't act a fool because I know what can happen. I'm gonna get my ass beat and end up with a t-shirt. So I
don't really know what it comes down to. Mostly, it's like a lot of these girls were told that they don't need a man. They could just have sex with all these type of guys, no consequences. And then those women that came up, a bunch of guys came up around the same time, because those girls didn't want those guys. They don't want the 9-to-5 grocery store worker. They want the guy that with all the money and like the 4 baby moms and all that stuff. Girls are like chasing guys that are straight out of their league that'll never be with them. And then when they hit the wall, because girls hit a wall, they're like, you know what? Maybe I should have went after that grocery store worker. Well, it's too late now. You age like shit. He aged like fine wine. Now he's with another girl that's on his level. Yeah, it's all this bullshit women were fed from feminists, destroyed their minds. You have women literally shaving their heads saying, "I'm going to make myself look uglier and repulsive so more men won't touch me." I'm like, lady, men, I'm a guy. We'd have sex almost anything if it looked somewhat decent, right? Say, I just don't get what was their standard for sleeping with guys before. Just anyone just touch. Oh, damn. Holy crap. Oh, he's gone for a second. Give me one moment here. I'm going to show you guys this really quickly. I'm just going to wait till he comes back for a second. Gamer Chick says, stop lying. Holy crap. Wait. I would never lie, actually.
My fault. I fucking hit the wrong button.
That's okay. No worries. This was you only gone for like a second. So, yeah, man, I don't know what's... And then a bunch of guys were told that their masculine way of looking at things is bad. You know, you're a toxic man. You're horrible for the way you are. The way you are is bad. Get in touch with your feminine side. You can chop off your dick. You can be a girl. And it's like, it only just took like being exposed to social media, a lot of other male figures to go, yeah, you probably shouldn't do that. That's not good, actually.
It's I feel like fourth wave feminism lied to a lot of women.
It's true.
Fourth wave feminism fooled a lot of women. And these women were told this stuff by women who are married, have kids, and already at the top. They have all that stuff. And these are the same women that turn around and some of the women who don't are married and have kids or have a boyfriend, at a certain age, they just sit there and go, I'm just unhappy. I recently saw an interview with a woman who was like, she was like, fourth wave feminism lied to her because, it's cool being, I'm a girl, but I have a boss. I'm my own boss and all that stuff. I have this money, but I go home alone. There's nobody to be with me. I see my friends that have kids and they talk about their kids. And I'm like, okay, well, I could go and do what I want. But at the same time, I'm alone. I'd rather be fucking with my husband and kids, a husband and kids and stuff, do that bullshit because now I'm just working all the time. I go home alone to a home and it's like, I'm not really happy. It was fun and games. And now when you hit a certain point, it's like, nobody wants to be with me now.
Yep. Have you noticed that with girls too? Like girls will consciously lie to other women that they feel insecure about just to ruin them, so they themselves stay at the top. It's just the most disgusting thing.
I mean, ever. They did it to the flag girls in NASCAR. Feminism took away jobs from girls in NASCAR that were respected, not treated badly, and fucking were making money. Destroyed that whole career for those girls. It was women who weren't getting certain benefits, fucking destroying it for other women. That's why I like, and you see guys who fucking come around saying they're feminists just to try to sleep with some of these women and stuff. Like, no, like, stop. I don't call myself a feminist. I'm egalitarian.
I would never do that. Yeah.
I am egalitarian. Feminism derives from egalitarian. All right. A lot of people don't know that because they're fucking brain dead and smooth brain. They don't know shit. Do some research. Feminism comes from egalitarian because it's equality for everybody. All right. And these feminists who say they want equality, you don't want equality. Trust me, you don't want equality. You want certain benefits. If you go into a male-dominated space, you're going to get treated like a man. In construction, I speak to the women, some of the women, just I speak to men. I call them incompetent, call them stupid. Oh, you can't talk to me like that. I'm a girl. Like, no. You want to be treated, your sisters, for you to have these equal opportunities, right? You want to be treated equally. I am treating you equally. You don't want equal treatment. You want special treatment, it seems.
Yeah.
You don't want the jokes. You don't want the hard talks and stuff. You don't want that. You want special treatment. So that's not equality.
No, I mean, I fully agree. It's another thing for women too, is the fact that they have to understand this. And people always said growing up with them, they're like, we're equal. Men and women really aren't equal.
We're not.
Like, especially, it's just, that's the harsh truth about reality. We're not. And women can do some great, there's some great women out there. They do some awesome things out there. But we are not equal. We don't even look at things the same. That's why most guys want to be with women, because they're different from them. Yeah, I'm not gay. I wouldn't want to ever be with a guy because that's just gay. And I like women. And I like that women can look at things different. I like how we can coexist like that. I never understood this, like, men and women are the same. It's just we're biologically not the same. There's a reason why one is called a woman and one is called a man. Man, kids these days are so lied to. I feel genuinely sorry for the leaders you had to fucking listen to. They
I don't
poisoned
feel
your
sorry.
brain. Oh
I
my
don't feel
god.
sorry. You listen. Anybody who sits there and listens to the people on TV who constantly lie to, especially who are rich and live
Mhm.
in a whole different world than you, you deserve what you got. You deserve everything that you got. You deserve it. Good on you. Because
Well,
I'm somebody who would listen to both sides and make my own determination.
yeah. Mhm.
And what
That's how
I
you should do it.
determine,
Mhm.
it should be, but we live in an age where you have to listen to one. If you don't listen to one, you're bad.
Yeah. Even on both sides, both left and right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't, that's why I don't vote. I've been registered to vote since the age of 18 and I never voted. Because the
Even
one
from this
time,
past election, you didn't vote just a few days
nope,
ago? Okay.
nope. The only time I wanted to vote is when Bernie Sanders was running.
Mm.
That's the only time. But that's when that's when my eyes really were open when certain areas that you were able to go vote for your primaries, they were removed. They moved it further away, so a lot of people couldn't get to them. And all of a sudden, Hillary Clinton won. I was like, what the fuck? Like, how did Bernie Sanders, a man who was so popular with so many people, lose the primaries? Not once, but twice.
Oh crap! Holy shit! Oh, that lady, Hillary Clinton. Oh my god! People
He lost to
legitimately.
Hillary and he lost to fucking Biden twice. How? How? Everybody loved Bernie Sanders. Everybody was
Mhm.
sucking Bernie Sanders' dicks.
Yeah, I remember
But
that.
he
I remember the
lost
time.
twice because when it came down to the primaries, the voting areas that were set up in a lot of places weren't there anymore.
You know what's also really weird is that fucking people hated Trump so much they actually wanted Hillary Clinton as president. That's the crazy part. Like you could not like somebody, but wanting someone that literally would have caused basically World War III is not a good idea. That's why people said that maybe bumping the voting age up to 30 is probably a good idea because there's so many young people that get lied to that just vote with their emotions. They're just
That's what
ruining
it's. I
everything.
don't even think it doesn't even matter the age you raise it to because people all vote with their emotions.
Oh yeah,
There's
yeah,
only few people who vote with logic, and I
very
tell
few.
I
Yeah.
tell it to people all the time. Like the government doesn't give a fuck about you. You don't
Hmm.
make enough money for the government to care about you.
Hmm.
When you start making 500K plus a year, the government starts to give a shit about you because you know why? Your money is the reason a lot of these people stay in the office. Let's take a look at this. Okay,
Hmm.
how is it that Kamala Harris, the minute she was announced to be running for president, in one day she was able to make uh $400 million in in funding from
Hmm.
donors. 400 million in one day. Where's that 400 million when a lot of communities need it? Why don't these rich people and celebrities endorse and push for communities to get fixed? Like,
Hmm.
BLM. Why didn't BLM use all that money to help fix the black communities as they said they would?
I agree. Yeah. Didn't do anything. Did nothing.
Op-
Jack shit.
Oprah was able to give Kamala Harris 40 mil. Oprah, the same woman who gave Hawaii a couple, like 1 mil, and then came to us and was like, please donate. You have all this fucking money, and you and The Rock came to us and said, donate. The people who can't even afford groceries, who are struggling on the right and the left, you want us to give you money for a cause. Okay, it's a good cause. I agree. But you're rich. Why aren't all these other rich people chipping in? But the
Yeah.
minute these motherfuckers endorse Kamala Harris, y'all motherfuckers are like, oh my God.
This.
I believe this. They want to help. Oh my God. They endorse
Mhm.
Kamala. They endorse Trump. Oh my God. We have to listen to these people. Fucking A. These are good celebrities. They're going to pay their equal share. Wake up, idiots. No rich person pays their fair share in taxes. None of them.
Mhm. Actually, Trump exposed that. Remember the Dave when he the fucking hell Dave Chappelle said this in a YouTube short, and I had to look up for it when Trump was talking to Hillary Clinton. People got mad at him because the whole tax break. You know what it is, because
Yeah, I know.
he had told Hillary Clinton that he understood the tax breaks that she and her rich friends got, and then he had asked her, why didn't you get rid of it when you guys were in charge? But he answered it for her because she wasn't going to do it because she would expose herself. She also herself benefited from that. He just learned it better. That's the only reason why they were mad.
All rich people know tax breaks. You think these celebrities who make all this money don't know the tax laws? They don't have accountants saying
Their
we're
accountants
gonna move the money around. They do that. So this whole bullshit where, oh, if we're gonna have these tax breaks, the rich are gonna be paying, companies are gonna be having to pay more money because they have to pay their own share. All those companies, the big companies, will never pay that share. Never. The smaller companies, yeah, they're gonna have to pay because they may not have the accountants they do. They may just be scraping by, and they're gonna hit with those fines. The smaller companies that are just trying to start up and stuff, yeah, they're gonna have to pay that. But these big companies, fuck no. Do you think they're gonna pay that shit? Are you stupid?
That's why you can tell these people are so jealous that Donald Trump just knew how to do it just a little bit better than they did and got bigger tax breaks. And that, like, these people are so petty. They'll want to throw you in jail over the most craziest thing, man. It's gross. The fact that you've seen it on social media, like the fucking media itself is just so flabbergasted that, oh my god, Kamala Harris had Beyonce and Usher and all these people supporting her, and it didn't matter. Well, as I don't know if people have been living under a rock, because I said it to my recent video. If we all understand that you would get, and a lot of people get it too, celebrities and Hollywood stars like influence has been dying off. Like, I think I've been living under a rock. Movies have been flopping pretty hard and consistently recently. The whole movie star thing is dead. Yeah, that's been a thing for a while. And the whole celebrity, like rapper, musician thing, that's been dead too. Even with all these big name people, Beyonce, Usher, these are legendary names people would know in music if you talk to the average person. Didn't matter worth a shit. Their influence means nothing because the average person was sick of getting spoken down to, called a misogynist, a bigot, a Nazi, all that stuff. They don't want their children having their genitals cut off. They don't want men and women's sports anymore. They were like, you know what? We reject all that. We want Donald Trump as our president. But they can't accept that. They can't accept the fact that they don't have that influence anymore. That's why they're mad. They know why they didn't get picked. They're just surprised that their influence with all these personalities doesn't matter anymore. It's crazy, man.
What blows my mind is that they had Megan Thee Stallion do it, right? That Megan Thee Stallion come out, shake her ass. They were like, we're gonna get these niggas. Then they had Eminem.
Pretty
mind
big
you,
name, yeah.
Mind you, hold on, mind you. Walk with me here. Not too long ago, Eminem lyrics was revisited by the new generation, Gen X, and they were like, it's homophobic, it's hateful, it's rape. We don't like it. He should be canceled. Mm-hmm. But they had Eminem there. Who else you had? You had Beyonce come out there. Beyonce didn't even sing. Motherfuckers came for a free Beyonce concert, didn't get one. Who else she had? Cardi B.
The Cardi B 8-minute speech was cancer.
Cardi B, who admitted to raping and drugging men, endorsed her.
Yeah.
Celebrities who had ties with P. Diddy.
J-Lo. J-Lo did it.
J-Lo. Leonardo DiCaprio. They're all the Avenger motherfuckers. You had all these motherfuckers endorsing this woman. Did you not? Don't even get me started with Trump, because he had fucking Hulk Hogan running around there endorsing him. Like, he had Hulk Hogan, Kid Rock, fucking who else? Fucking
back in 2020, he had Little Pump. I think he got a little bit of an upgrade.
He had
Lil Wayne was 2022. I remember that.
Lil Wayne, like, you get all these celebrities to endorse, and like the shit is like, I feel, you know what the thing is? Kamala lost because her campaign team focused more on identity politics than actual politics was going on.
Yeah, the biggest one being abortion. Yeah, all they focused on was abortion. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, it was just identity politics. It was like, oh, women's reproductive rights. Oh, trans rights. Oh, black. We didn't even get a full black plan because they added other in that shit. Motherfuckers caught that shit real quick. It was like, I got a plan for black people. It said black people and other. We couldn't even get a whole shit. Immigration was a problem. Those are these are problems average Americans are having, right? This is what everybody was having.
Mhm.
And they thought they were going to win because, they thought they were going to win the Spanish vote because but Trump had that roast comedian come out and said, oh, shithole Puerto Rico, right?
Yeah.
Then they looked at all the fucking demographics that voted for Trump. Majority was white women, Hispanics, and there was one more that nobody talked about.
Was the Amish Jewish?
No.
Black men?
It's gonna blow your mind. Do you know who voted 64% for Trump? What demographic of people?
Latinos?
No. Native Americans.
He won the Indian vote?
64% Native Americans voted for Trump.
Holy shit.
64%. But what do we focus on? White people and Latinos. That's all we're focusing on, right? Because it's low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
To go up to the Native Americans, we're like, oh, well,
and she's Indian, and she couldn't, do anything with them.
Well, she's not that kind of Indian. She's the other kind of Indian. No one's talking about the Native Americans that did it. Why? It's quick for us to jump to the black, to the Spanish, the white women, and that's it. It's easy, right? That's easy. But we nobody's attacking the Native Americans. Why? Can you tell me why nobody's attacking? Can anybody?
Doesn't make the headlines. Because they know for media, the only thing that gets news is black people doing bad, white people doing bad, Mexicans doing bad. The top 3 races for them get views. If they say something about Native Americans, no one's gonna care on their ratings. That's not gonna make a dent.
Exactly. Now you got white women on the internet saying, "Oh, please let me know what I could do or what color bracelet I can buy because I'm being told there's a blue bracelet I have to buy." So you can know I did not vote for him. Oh, we're gonna shave our heads in protest so we don't look feminine to some men because we're done, we're sick. And then you got these ignorant ass, stupid ass niggas going, "Oh, we're not showing up anymore. We're not showing up anymore because we're tired of carrying America on our backs, and then the white people take the screwing up. We're not showing up anymore." You niggas say the same shit every fucking 4 years. I'm tired of you niggas. Every 4 fucking years, we're not carrying America anymore. We're done.
Yeah,
we're done. Every 4 years.
You know what's really crazy, dude? Even people on the Democratic side voted for Trump too. Do you want to know? Do you want to know how we know? I know you know some Democrats. You know some of our people like myself. They were like, I don't know what my party has become, but this is not the party that I've supported. I'm
exactly.
leaving. That's bad. That's how you know shit is bad. Hardcore Democrats going, you know what? I don't even know what the fuck this is anymore. I'm leaving. That's bad. Because, dude, like I said before, all they focus on is race. All they focus on is gender. That's it. They're so involved in like the culture war. And it's like, why is the Democratic Party focused on the culture war? They don't even know what the average American wants. How about you talk to a firefighter, policeman, construction worker, teacher, daycare provider, grocery store worker? Talk to those normal people that might be on your side. But no, they'd rather call you a bigot and a Nazi every day. And they wonder why they lost. It makes no sense logically, you know? Good Gord.
It's because that's all they had. That's all they had to play on. Identity. People are tired of identity. Like, I can't buy food and groceries for my kids with identity. There's black people who were sitting there like, oh, it is what it is. I need black people to really understand, like, this whole shit, being proud of, like, we can endure the struggle. That shit isn't cool.
That's not good. It's bad.
That's not, just because you could fucking, oh, black people, we good at making money, like making $100 stretch for years. Stop that shit. You should be saying, like, I want a little bit more money so I could stretch. If I make X amount of dollars and I'm making X amount of dollars, I could be like, okay, I know the fucking manage my money way better because of the struggle, and make this fucking couple thousand last longer. Not this other shit. Like this it's yes, it's good that you can make money stretch and you can last it, but it shouldn't be your whole thing. Like the black people who voted for Trump, they voted for Trump because they were tired of the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
They were tired of the Democratic Party. Like this shit ain't rocking. Like I don't like it. Mind you, there's a lot of black people in the projects that don't like half the shit that's happening. They don't like all these white people.
They did interviews in the Bronx where you live, or you're in the Bronx, you're in Brooklyn, I think.
No, I'm in Jersey. I live in Jersey.
Well, your former home, bro. They did interviews with black people in the Bronx, and they were like, "We don't like Kamala." Guys, the Bronx is pretty, from what I heard, is pretty sketch. Let's just say that, filled with a lot of black people, and that area is like, we don't like her. Half the America rejected her and her fucking political party and her administration. It was in mass. She got rejected by everybody. I can see why she's crying. Yeah, no one likes you. Good.
It's you know why the projects don't want that shit? Because the projects wanted some more money. It wasn't just a stimmy. It was fucking just having extra money in your pocket. Because honestly, when Trump was in office, I wasn't making that much money.
Okay.
I was making like this 80 grand. And I was living in Harlem. I was fucking living a ghetto fabulous lifestyle. I was paying off my car, paying off my rent, everything. I still had money to go shop at outlets. I was balling the fuck out. And I wasn't stressing. I bought a house, I make more money, and I'm stressing. I don't know what the fuck happened. Is it the I even with that, I still didn't vote because at the end of the day, I'm like, these motherfuckers don't care. I don't care who wins. I didn't care who won. I didn't care. I'm like, no matter what, at the end of the day, we're fucked. We're fucked in some shape, way, or form. And now it's just crazy seeing how people, especially on the left, have devolved into like, you're just as bad as these Trump supporters you hate. You're being just as racist.
Mm-hmm. The day after they lost, they blamed black people and Latinos. I thought you cared for minorities. I thought they were your people. Latinx, remember all that? Yeah. Didn't want them after you couldn't get their vote. After you couldn't play them.
The fear mongering kills me too. Because it's like, oh, he's gonna deport all you people. So he deports your family. Hope you're happy. So he's gonna deport the legal immigrants that's been there that have citizenship, or they're gonna use this. They're gonna lose their citizenship. It doesn't really work like that.
You can tell how media literate people are, how they just are so retarded. He said, word for word, we're going to do a mass deportation on the illegals that are illegally crossing over the border, who are murderers, rapists. Yeah. So not your mom who is a legal citizen that's not doing that. No, people that came over illegally doing bad stuff. But people went, oh, he's going to mass deport my mom. Are you
like, how long has your mother been here? If your mother has been here longer than that, like Obama deported the most immigrants in history.
I remember that. Yeah, he did.
It was so bad that they had a parade in Mexico and they had a fake straw man of him. And it was like, Obama's the devil.
Mm-hmm.
So if your mother didn't get deported when Obama was in office and when Trump was in the office the first time, why the fuck would she get deported now?
Yeah.
8 years of Obama. She didn't get touched. 4 years of Trump and she didn't get touched.
Mm-hmm. You also knew they had a bad candidate too. You knew they had a bad candidate when people were supporting Kamala Harris, when they were asked, what is her greatest accomplishment? And no one answered. No one ever gave an answer.
Her greatest accomplishment was putting niggas in jail for weed charges and then putting people in jail because truancy of their kids.
Yeah.
ACAB, the whole radical left, all cops are bad, but you were so quick to fucking vote for a fucking ex-prosecutor. You were so quick. Why? Because she was a black Indian woman, whatever the fuck she wants to be. Because people just wanted the first. That's what it was. It was because they wanted to make history. And that's why I honestly thought she was going to win. Because people wanted to make history. And they wanted to be a part of that. To say, I was the reason America had its first black Indian female president. I did that. It was me. I helped.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ask half these fucking idiots who their their mayor is or their state representative. Ask them. Ask any of these fucking so-called political geniuses. When was the last time they voted in their state? In the state, did you vote for your state officials? Ask them. I ask them. I guarantee you, they never did in their life.
Well, I won't be surprised. I agree. Yeah,
because nobody understands that when the president says X, the state goes, "I'm gonna do fucking something different. I'm gonna make a law that goes as a loophole."
Oof, man, we live in a truly fucked up world, honestly. The next thing I'll ask you, your content creation journey. How'd you start doing content? Who were you inspired by it?
Nobody. I was just like, I'm gonna give this shit a try.
That's it? You were like a YouTuber, nothing?
No, nobody inspired me. I didn't look at somebody and go, "Oh, I want to fucking."
Oh, okay. Because that's what most people do. They watch someone, they were like, "Oh, I kind of want to do that." So you were just like, "I just want to do it." Okay.
Yeah, I was like, I like playing video games. You know, I saw some streamer stuff doing it. I was like, maybe just give this a try. And like, it was fun. I went to meet new people who share the same interest in me, like with gaming and shit. And like, it was fucking just that. Like, I wasn't inspired, nothing, you know. Nothing.
How do you feel like your content creation has evolved over the years? I imagine you weren't as good as you are now versus then.
Oh, I mean, I feel like I'm worse now.
You're not in your prime? What the hell?
No, I just don't have the drive anymore.
Oh,
I don't. It's like the drive had died out. You know, honestly, like, because like, you start to find out like, it's all about who you associate yourself with, and who you just kiss up to constantly. And it's like, if you don't suck their dick every fucking 24/7, you won't climb.
Yeah.
And then when you do climb, you have to constantly stay sucking their dick and walk on eggshells. And now it's just like, I missed 2 waves of becoming a fucking Twitch partner or big. I missed when they were doing the whole Black Lives Matter stuff because I wasn't for the whole riots and fucking destroying the neighborhoods. If I'd have latched onto that, I'd have been a partner. When they canceled Gothics, if I'd have jumped on that bandwagon, I would have been a partner. But no, Gothics was my homie. That was my friend, and I agree with her. I was like, why is the Little Mermaid gonna be black? Why are we getting scraps?
Oh, you actually know her. Oh, okay.
Yes, I got Gothics on speed dial. I went to her fucking wedding.
Oh, yeah. What's crazy is people were calling her a whole bunch of things. Like, you know, the woman's married. People calling her an incel. You know she's married, right? This is a married lady. That ain't no incel. Okay. That's like, crazy. So when she was going through that black girl gamer drama, you were there.
Yes, I was front line with her. Like, y'all motherfuckers sound stupid.
So from your point of view, what can you say that people didn't know back then that was going on? Because that recently came up. Remember earlier this year, she had the drama happen again with Black Girl Gamers when they were talking shit about her and she clapped back and they were going off on tirades. Actually, what was so disgusting about what they did to her, they were talking shit about her while their replies were locked down, while they locked their damn account.
Yeah, because the thing is, they knew they were in the wrong. It's because there's some black spaces that like to have a hive mind. Like, we all have to think the same, but we don't. Not every black person has the same upbringing.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But for some reason, everybody puts us in a box, and then there's those who benefit off the box. And they saying those things, oh, we supported her and all this stuff. Is like, okay, but she's still black, and she's not gonna support everything. And you guys should understand that. Just because she doesn't feel the same way about what you guys do doesn't make her worse less inferior. I don't like that black people are getting scraps from white characters. That is a slave mentality, being happy of getting scraps. I'm gonna say right now, I don't give a fuck. Getting a black wash character is you as a fucking slave being happy the white man gave you something. That's just scraps. The white man is done with it and he goes, here you go. And you go, oh, we winning. We have black superheroes. I don't know how. I hear that we don't have anything when we've had black superheroes. We have black TV shows.
Very famous, legendary ones that people love to this day.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Full House, Different World, Blank Man, Meteor Man, fucking The Mantis,
Mhm.
Icon, Spawn, Luke Cage, Black Lightning, Brother Voodoo, John Stewart, Green Lantern,
Yeah. Cyborg? No, wrong.
Cyborg, Mr.
Yeah.
Terrific,
Hmm.
Vixen, Storm. We didn't have
Yeah.
representation. We didn't have representation. Nigga, are you stupid?
Like, did you hear that back in the day, about a few years ago, where people would be like,
No.
"Oh my god, now black people can be represented in media." I'm like, have you been living under a rock, or you were born in like the year 2010? What
No,
the fuck?
we've always had representation. We've always had representation in every media. In every media, we were represented. We
Yeah,
had heroes. We had that stuff. It's just that you motherfuckers weren't turning out for the movies.
yeah. Or they actually just posers. They never watched. They just parrot a narrative. Like, I had to ask people, like the same that Jennifer Lawrence shit when she was like, "I'm the first female action hero." Bullshit. Like, what? How would people believe that? So you believe? So not you, but like people were parroting this lie, like, "Oh, Asian people and black people were minorities and never represented in Hollywood." You believe that, people? There were movies in the '60s that were like black and white that had black people in them. What are you talking about? Just lies, just flat out lying.
It's and then during the Summer of Love, we lost Uncle Ben on the box. We lost fucking Aunt Jemima.
I remember that. Yeah, yeah.
And then didn't Aunt Jemima's family say like you guys like are taking money away from us because we
Hmm.
were making money off of our aunt, our ancestors'
Hmm.
likeness, and it's gone now because you idiots found it racist.
Hmm.
And then we lost the Indian woman off the the fucking butter.
Oh, yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah, she's gone. Yeah, I remember.
But what's left? We still got that fucking Quaker Oats, motherfucker. We still got Little Debbie. We still got
That's
them
true.
people, right?
Yeah, they're always around. Yeah.
We still got the fucking Colonel of KFC.
Hmm.
Who took away representation? Your dumbasses did. You did that.
Yeah.
Good job.
These people that fight for inclusivity took away a black woman on her famous syrup because they thought it was racist. Like, how does that even make any sense? Stupid. Yeah, I remember that controversy was terrible, man. Holy crap. But as you know, the gaming scene right now, it's just been hell with some of these people, actually. It's just controversy after controversy every single day with gaming. Is there a day where there's not a big thing going on? It's every day.
I talk about this a lot on my podcast, Unfiltered Gamers.
Mhm.
It's myself and a Mad Curious, who is a female and is part of the LGBTQ, and she's sick of it too because it's like it's getting stupid, and it's like you're doing identity politics to make people feel included, but you're isolating your the rest of your audience, and then your game just sucks. You
Mhm.
spend so much time writing like a character and making the whole character by identity by this character, but it's like, how does that play into the story at all?
Mhm.
And
They're
then the
costing
game
the
just sucks.
studio so much money, and then when the game doesn't sell and they get fired, they want to cry on social media, like with with Concord. That one guy, he didn't even put it on Twitter. He put it on like Blue Sky, their fucking echo chamber over there. He was like, a bunch of dorks got a lot of people laid off because they were mad characters had pronouns. No, this is what game developers need to understand. You make games for us, we buy them. You make shit we don't want to buy, we don't buy it. That's it. So if gamers say I don't want pronouns in my games, don't put them in there. Pretty simple, right? We're the
It's
customer.
it's always funny when you hear, well, if you don't like it, don't buy it. And when they don't buy it, it's like you guys are racist and you guys are this and that. It's like, remember when they did that Charlie's Angels like remake,
Yeah, I remember that one.
and
Yep.
the director was like, this isn't for men. This movie's
Movie
not for men, so men shouldn't watch it.
movie
Okay.
bombs at the box office. Why
Men
did men support it?
exactly. It doesn't make sense. You don't attack your audience. Look at G4. G4 came back
I remember that.
and they
Yeah.
attacked all the gamers, all the nerds, all the people who make. They were like, okay, we're gonna stop watching. Fuck you. I don't understand why these people, why these companies hire these people who are supposed to be representing a group, a very small group who don't even support the products that much. That's what kills me.
Mhm.
A Dustborn, a game that was made to represent trans, gay, everybody. But those people didn't turn out for your game. They didn't turn out for your game. They weren't buying it. They weren't supporting it. They weren't hyping it. Why?
That game had less players than Concord. At least
You
Concord
made that
had
game
like,
for those
yeah.
people, and they didn't buy your game.
Because they're broke, dude. And let's be honest here, they don't have any money. The people that are champion for it and virtue single for it, they're broke. They have no money. That one dirty stinking ape, he was fucking asking for video game codes the other day ago. I forgot his name. He was like, "Can someone get me a video game code for Dragon Age Veilguard?" Wait, so you didn't support it with your own money? Huh? That's crazy.
Yeah, you out here e-begging for video game codes? Nigga, buy the game.
He said it's good. He was like, "Oh, this game's gonna be good." Well, put your own money in it.
Buy
then.
it.
Yeah.
My black ass, when I saw Wukong, I was like, I'm gonna buy it. I'm buying it. I ain't beg for a fucking code. I was like, I'm gonna buy that shit and support it.
Yeah.
Wukong don't have diversity. They got a monkey.
Oh no,
they got a bear. It had a
one,
black bear whose name was Black something, Black Wind.
That
What
legendary
more diversity you
criticism
fucking want?
for Black Wukong, guys. This was actually a criticism. I think in Screen Rant, one of their writers wrote the game lacked diversity. It's a game about a what?
It's Chinese mythology. Chinese mythology made by a Chinese studio. Make it make sense.
I hate
What
life.
diversity did you want from a Chinese studio making a game about Chinese mythology? Oh, the monkey should have been gay love. It should have been a trans monkey. It should have it doesn't make sense.
A trans monkey. Oh
but,
god.
Like, you want these things, but it doesn't make sense to the story. It's mythology. It's creatures, it's fictional creatures based off of mythology that dates back to half of when you motherfuckers were born.
Yeah.
Way, way back. They're not gonna change shit to appease you.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy, man? Is that when you're talking about gaming, the same thing happened with Ghost of Tsushima, right? So you had Ghost of Yote get announced, and Sony's, you saw their account, they get cooked in the comments every single time I talk about that game.
But here's my devil advocate with that. Some of these motherfuckers need to shut the fuck up. Just because the voice actress is a radical leftist, don't mean shit about the game. Doesn't mean the game's gonna be bad. We don't know what the game's gonna be like. You can't just fucking go, oh, she's a radical woke leftist. This game gonna be bad. No, it's not. We don't know that. We didn't play the game.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I agree. That's a red flag, I would say, but it doesn't automatically mean.
I don't think it's a red flag. I don't think it's a red flag.
Okay.
She's a good voice actress. She's good at what she does.
Yeah.
Whatever her views is, you know what? The same people who are upset about this are the same people who tell radical leftists for the Harry Potter and J.K. Rowling, you got to learn to separate the art from the artist. Go Yotai, separate the fucking art from the voice actress.
Yeah.
Easy.
What other game has been tanking recently? Oh, Dustborn was. Oh my goodness! The fact
Dustborn is a fever dream at this point.
How's that not canceled is beyond me. The Dragon Age Veilguard game lost half of its players recently. It was from 89K to 40K recently. What other game? Star Wars Outlaws is just came and went. Just that's it. Just gone.
It honestly is just gamers are getting tired of the same bullshit and being told they're bad and getting put identities in the games that don't play into the story. So I know Call of Duty, the new Black Ops, they have like a non-binary
operator. Yeah.
And I'm just like, what does this have to do with the story?
It's not going to help the sales. Call of Duty is one of the best-selling titles ever. It doesn't even need that for sales. It doesn't. It's selling well right now. It's Call of Duty. It'll sell regardless. They can put a piece of shit on the cover and people would buy it because it's Call of Duty.
I like, honestly, if you tell me a character is this, what does this have to do with the story? How does this benefit in the story? How does this play into the story? If the character is trans, okay, cool. How does it relate to the story? Go. They're trans. If that's all you got, you lost me. Oh, the character is a trans character. They had to do this to fucking hide from a group that was out to kill him. Okay, you got me. Tell me more about the character. They used to be a man, but they became a woman so they could blend in and get away. Perfect. I like that. Go on. See how that works? See how that plays into the story? Not just saying, oh, they're trans. Concord. The story made no sense. Why are all these characters on a ship having fun, teaching a robot about death, and then they're battling each other? So, you're not selling me.
Mm-hmm. Or even Sony with that. They wanted basically their own Overwatch, their own Apex Legends, and they released it in 2024 when Overwatch and Apex Legends and like Fortnite, those games are all free. Well, Overwatch 2 is now free. You originally had to buy the game, but Blizzard realized we'll just make the game free and you just buy the in-game content, the microtransactions. Sony was already way past that era's peak of putting out a game like that anyway. And then the fucking leader, you saw the interview, dude. He was like, I don't know if we have any popular franchises. That has to be trolling. That's just bullshit.
This is what happens when Sony decide to team up with Americans, close down the studio in Japan, and put it on in California. That's where they went wrong. Japan needs to come back and take Sony and be like, you motherfuckers are all stupid because you don't know what you're doing. Because all these original IPs you have, you could just bring them back. Give me another Jack and Daxter. Give me another Sly Cooper. Give me another Medieval. Give me another fucking Uncharted. Give me an Uncharted with is Drake's son or daughter that's taking over now. Is it played out? Yes, but Drake's daughter or son, they want to follow the footsteps of their father, but the father's like, this is not a life you want to live. I don't want this life for you. I don't want, or Drake wants his son or daughter to follow his footsteps, and they're like, I don't want to be in your shadow. It's too dangerous. Give me something like that. No, we don't got original IPs. It's stupid people, bro. Stupid people running these companies into the ground. And then and then developers are saying they're getting laid off after a project is done. Some of these projects go on for 8 years. You were working on this project for 8 years, and your contract is up. Now you gotta go somewhere else. Or they're not being honest with how long they were on there. They're not being honest with was it per project contract. They're saying, oh, I got laid off. Everything is just, it just seems like everybody's just being stupid just for fun. Because they know on the internet they can go and cry and people are going to love bomb them and stuff.
Yeah, this is not like back in the day where people just bought the games and they weren't as knowledgeable on the media side of things, because we used to just read interviews in like magazines and shit like that. Pro tips and tricks used to be a thing I used to have back in the day. Like it's one of these things where these companies are so angry that they just don't get all that money like they used to, because people kind of know what's up now. Customers like me, you have to earn my money now. You don't just get it for free now at this point, That's good.
Exactly.
That's good. Like they should serve you. If the gamers say, I don't want pronouns in my game, I don't want any of that shit in my games, that should just be, you don't get that in your games, because we're serving you. You're our customers, And then people go, but it's their game. They can do whatever they want with it. Cool. Then I'll have to buy it then. If that's then I'm gonna buy it then. Then that game failed. That's on them.
There's nothing wrong with having pronouns in games. It's just that it has to make sense.
Yeah.
If it's create a character, fine.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Fine. You want to see yourself in games? Play games where you can create a character. Fine.
There's only role-playing games for that.
As if you want it, if it's in the main story, please make it make sense. The character is gay. It better come back around. I better see this fucking dude or woman kiss the same sex, or I want to see that shit, because if I fucking don't, then it made no sense making them fucking gay. No sense at all. It has to play into the story, and it has to play into the story the proper way. That's the only way it works. If it doesn't, then no. If I gotta play a game with a black person, all I hear is like, oh, because I'm black, it's like this. Oh, because I'm black, it's like this. Like, no, I'm not playing. I'm done. I'm done with you, motherfucker. I hate movies that always make that a fucking selling point. I'm black, so this is the part. No, fuck you.
It'll just be randomly be like, I'm gay. The character, I'm gay. It's like, the fuck?
If that's all you are, then you lost me. I've never heard John Stewart, Green Lantern, say, "Oh, because I'm black, I can't be in the Justice League." Oh, I'm black because I'm black, so the fucking the what are they fucking called? The hunters are after me.
Mhm.
Never hear that. You never hear Spawn, Al Simmons go, "Oh, because I'm black, that's why I was betrayed, went to hell, lost my wife, and came back as a hell spawn. It's because I'm black." No, you ain't hear Black Panther say, "I'm the Black Panther because I'm black."
Pretty
The
sure that'd
fuck
be
he was
implied. He's wearing a
like,
black suit, you
no,
know?
nigga. He was like, "I'm the king of fucking Wakanda,
Yeah.
bloodline, nigga. That's why I'm the Black Panther."
The other
The
few last
fuck?
things I'll ask you before we head out in a little bit here is first thing, do you have any plan coming up in 2024 going into 2025 that you want to let the audience know about?
No, probably be dead and not deal with this nonsense. I'm tired of everybody.
Oh god, Dela's getting at all. He's like, I'm tired of everybody. All you kids get off my lawn. He's gonna be super boomer at this point.
Exactly. Get the fuck off my lawn, you bastards.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're not happy that Marvel race swapped Wonder Man because people are like, but he's not popular. I realized to myself, it's just pure cognitive dissonance. Their brains just are incapable of moving past the logic. It's okay. If Black Panther, if they recast T'Challa with Ryan Gosling, my life's happy. At least you were consistent. At least you did it for black characters and you did it for white people. But that's not gonna happen because it doesn't play that way in Hollywood. Last thing, man, I'll ask you is, do you have any shout outs we can give to anyone in particular and any closing thoughts or statements before we end the show?
Shout out to Gothics for helping me with my stuff when I needed to help me with it. Shout out to Ruin Leon
Mhm.
for sending me obscene text messages that I don't know why he's doing it, but shout out to him. Shout out to the people who could use their fucking common sense
It's a very good
in
thing. Yeah.
2024. You know, don't let the understand that the government will still fuck you over no matter who wins,
Mhm.
and can keep their head and like, okay, we lost. And shout out to the people who didn't unfollow me because I didn't vote.
Mhm. Well, man, yeah, it was great talking to you for the first time. It was great having a conversation. It's always fun. And thank you guys for checking out this episode of the MSK show, and we'll see